Good Saturday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Byron Douglas. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday afternoon. We have an alert day. I'll take this full in a moment. Have my phone on so I can talk with you guys. There's no active storms across our viewing area. We're not looking at widespread severe weather, but we do have that risk there. We do have a level 2 threat that has increased across portions of western Kentucky. We'll check in with the Storm Prediction Center. And again, hope everyone's having a great Saturday afternoon. I'll take this full just for a second so you can see that, and then we'll go on and show you the latest guidance. And of course, we'll be streaming coming up here at 6 o'clock, and then we'll be live back with you guys at 10. Amy, good afternoon. I'm typically on 14 News Sunrise, so a lot of times when you see me, Alex, George, Larry, I have a tendency to say good morning. So I didn't do it last Saturday. And by the way, we checked in with Michael Fecka. He's out in Portland, Oregon. He's going to be starting there as a weekend meteorologist soon, so he sends his well wishes. He sent us some great pictures. He was out in Twin Falls, Idaho. He's had a great trip out there, and he's getting set up. So there's a look at our alert day. We're going to start because I always want to highlight that flooding threat across the area. It's a level 2 out of 4 threat. And generally these areas where the greatest flooding exists is out in Missouri. They're kind of under the gun today. And then we do have a level 2 threat covering Evansville, Madisonville, good chunks of our viewing area. During this time of year, you get some slow-moving storms, and we've had some beneficial rain here in the last couple of weeks, kind of removing our drought-like conditions. They do remain across portions of western Kentucky. So here is the flooding threat map. And so we can't rule that out, and so when we hatch the alert day, we put that in there as well. The Storm Prediction Center, the big bullseye is from about Columbia, Missouri, Wichita, Topeka. That generally covers good chunks there of Missouri. But we're concerned about our viewing area. We do have a level 2 threat. Evansville's back in it. This morning it had mainly west of the Wabash River, so the entire viewing area is covered within this. So I want to really highlight, if we get storms going, the storm of the day could be in Tell City, just because you're a little farther and you're the isolated severe weather threat. It doesn't break down the severity of those storms, so it's just the volume of them. So we're not expecting a big outbreak, but we could get a squall line going during that time frame. I'm going to take this full. We're not in a tornado threat, but if we get any kinks within a squall line, we could get a spin-up tornado. But we have a higher threat now for hail. We have the damaging wind threat, and of course that flooding threat across the viewing area. And we're going to do some nowcasting in a moment here on Doppler radar. Carol, you having a cookout there at 5:30? All right, have an indoor plan. Amy, hello there from Evansville. Laura down there in Dawson Springs. All right, the tornado risk map. This updated a few hours ago. The hatched areas there, EF2 or greater, covering eastern Kansas, Kansas City down through Joplin, Branson, Springfield, Missouri. So we're not classified in a tornado risk area, but the key is wind, and if we get some damaging winds going, that does cover our area. So I just wanted to show it to you. And the damaging wind threat does set up across our area. We have a 15% probability within 25 miles of where you're standing. The big hatched areas they could get some high-end severe thunderstorm warnings are out to our west, but doesn't cover our area. It covers our entire viewing area, and that's why we've had the alert day on the board. And we have a new tornado watch. This is outside of our area, covering portions there of good chunks there of Kansas, and then up through Kansas City, out to our west. I think if we get a watch, the watch of choice would be a severe thunderstorm watch if we get a watch going. So there's not a lot of wind shear where we'd see a lot of rotating thunderstorms, but trying to handicap what's coming from the Storm Prediction Center. All right, we have a little lightning in the viewing area right now. It's up through about Mill Shoals, then Highway 45 there and Interstate 64. That's up north of Enfield. It's a non-severe storm, so we'll get another volume scan. And then we have one down through Clay in Providence and Webster County. So these are generally going to be outflow-driven storms where the cool rush of air from the storms that are firing west of Interstate 57, and that will develop into an updraft, get a few storms going. And then from Fairfield up to about Massillon, Golden Gate, and then Grayville, you have a little bit of lightning. So we'll see how that behaves. Now that storm out in McLeansboro came up fast, then it collapsed pretty fast. That was out in Hamilton County, so there's a little bit of lightning there. And then where we're seeing some warnings, I'm just going to grab this full. Where we're seeing the polygons are down in northern stretches of Arkansas. Jonesboro, Arkansas, the Region 8 areas. When you see the polygons there in orange indicates there's a tornado tag possible. So we'll see how these outflow boundaries behave. And we do have a lot of clouds out there, kind of a soupy atmosphere that could tamp down the atmosphere just a bit. So this is where we look at all the modeling, and now the Doppler radar is kind of the report card to see how these storms are going to behave. So there's nothing outside of just a little lightning up towards Grayville and Mill Shoals. That's all that we have on the board. Now we're going to watch these storms here west of Paducah, far southern stretches of Illinois, and see how they behave. And then we have that little shower up there in Providence, and then northern stretches there of Arkansas. I'm just going kind of wide here. And then we were showing here these areas here you see in white out into northern stretches of Arkansas. That's some hail there. So we'll see, yeah, pretty good hail core there along 167, oriented there into northern stretches there of Arkansas. Okay, we just kind of took a wide view of that. All right, let's bring it back home here. We're at 83, the dew point's at 70, and it feels like 87, so very humid out there. And when you get to that question, if you have a cookout at 5, 6, if you have outdoor plans, it's kind of 14 night out at the Otters. We're going to be out there at our 14 family there for first pitch at 6:35. All right, we're in the 80s. The feel-like temperature, generally 92 there in Greenville. All right, let's go hourly. I'm going to use the rapid refresh model here just for a few scans. It's not showing a whole lot. So that's encouraging. You got a storm down there at Paducah. This is projecting into the future. This takes us to 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So if this would verify, this was, it's storms here in the pre-dawn hours, a few isolated severe storms, you can't rule it out. But we get information on the HER model. Sometimes it'll light up by the time I come back here at news time. The graph is showing storms in segments here. And within this, we could see a severe thunderstorm warning or two at 3, 4 o'clock. This might be a little overdone. So we'll maybe have to split the difference. This takes us to 4 or 5 o'clock. Again, the entire viewing area is not going to see rain at once. Just these pockets, I know it can be frustrating of a few thunderstorms. This takes us through 8, 9 o'clock tonight. And then as we go through Sunday, we've kept the alert time in through the pre-dawn hours very early, and then there's a chance for a few storms as we go to the afternoon at 3, 4, at 5 p.m. But generally we're not at risk for any severe storms, but if this verifies, we could have a level 1 threat for Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. Again, I'm not expecting a tornado outbreak or anything in the form of widespread severe weather. And I haven't updated everything on the 7-day, but I'm going to grab that full. We'll go off to the, I kind of just... Monday looks really nice. I've just loaded up a few maps here. Then as we go into Sunday, the severe weather threats will push to the east. So we have a general risk for some gusty thunderstorms during that stretch. And then we'll go over to the 7-day here. And again, I haven't filled everything in. I've been working from home, come into work. I'm still kind of going through the forecast here. I'm going to take this full for a second. Shout out a few folks, and then I'll go back. If we have some people on, we'll go back. Yes, we have some. I like to talk, so I'll go back and kind of go over some of the maps. Larry, thanks for tuning in. Justin, all right, appreciate it. Via Models, thank you. Lisa, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Du Bois County Bombers at play at 6:30 up there. I think at that time at 6:30, you could have a storm or two, but I'm not expecting a widespread. You could always bump into a severe thunderstorm warning. And Laura, hello to you. James, thank you. Morning's my best time, but I like coming in here at night as well. Like I said, I've been getting adjusted until we find a weekend meteorologist. You're going to be, Michael Feck is a very tough act to follow. All right, let's go back. I'm going to go back and we'll do some radar scans here in a moment. And so I'm going to take a few maps out, do a little subtraction here. We'll highlight the alert day. And I'm just going to go back in and remove a few things, and we'll go over to Doppler radar. I'll make a few stops on that. Then I'll send you on your way. All right. what I'm going to do is I'll pull out the map. I'm going to go in and inspect that shower there into southern Illinois up to about the Carmi area and see how that's performing. So sometimes these storms come up pretty fast and they collapse pretty fast. Yeah. So I'm just going to tighten this up, and then I'll be back with you. All right. Okay. All right, so we'll take it back. We'll go back over to Doppler radar. In fact, okay, there we go. So there's a look at the alert day. It's generally going to run this afternoon, tonight, and then through tomorrow. But we could see a few active thunderstorms into Sunday afternoon and then into Sunday night. But we're not expecting widespread severe weather. There's a look at the tornado watch outside of our viewing area. The severe thunderstorm watch, if we get a watch, in my view, it'd be a severe thunderstorm watch. And if we catch any warnings, I think we'd have they would be severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay. So look at these showers. The upper level winds are taking this to the north and east. So we got a shower there as you get up north of Interstate 64, and it puts you to about Grayville, and just to the west there of Albion, and southeastern stretches there of Wayne County, Illinois. So it's got quite a bit of lightning on that. So just right along Highway 45 there at the junction in Interstate 64. I'll go ahead and take that full. So sometimes these storms come up pretty quickly, and that storm that's trying to organize down through Clay and Providence hasn't done anything. So these are outflow driven. Then as you get up into Fairfield, up to Maslin, up south there of Mount Erie, on that shower there covering, you kind of go over to County Highway 2, and then kind of east there of the village of Jeff, a couple clusters there of some showers trying to organize. So they're coming up pretty fast. Another one here down through south there, north of Roberts, a little shower trying to organize. So these are outflow driven. It's encouraging when you just have rain out to the west. If we had a batch there of severe thunderstorm warnings, we'd have to keep an eye on that. So I'll be watching the radar as we go into the afternoon. Again, if you're heading out, just have an indoor plan. If you catch a warning or two, I'm not expecting widespread severe weather. Tammy, thanks for watching down there in Greenville. We had a nice visit down there. Well, back in the fall, we went down there. I guess they'll be doing that again this year. Music there at the beautiful county courthouse there in Muhlenberg County. Jenny, Quest, Electronics, hello to you. Sheila, thank you. Tina, watching from Petersburg. You know it's on my list to get up into Petersburg and get some ice cream. So I got a long list of stuff that I'd like to get done. But there we're watching that one lone storm there. So I'll take it full, and then I'll get a push alert out here in a little bit. We're streaming at 6 o'clock. I'm going to take you through. We're streaming at 6 o'clock. Then I'll be back in here streaming at 9, and then we have the 10 o'clock. We have the 10 o'clock news. And then if we have storms in the pre-dawn hours, we'll keep you up to date on that. All right, we're at 2:43, so talked for about 13 minutes. So you're up to date. If we have any watches, I think it'd be a severe thunderstorm watch or a severe thunderstorm warning if we get any storms going. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and weekend.